about the Morrissey open letter to Marr thing that has gotten worse, of course. I also have been tuning into Morrissey Solo online, where it's been going on for 25 years, this website, and it's not run by Morrissey, but it's like all things Morrissey and Smiths related and stuff. And, mostly it's like a community, online community for people to voice their opinions and thoughts and stuff. And it's been really satisfying because I've read a lot of wonderful viewpoints that echo my own and are very articulate and great. They just discuss exactly what I am dreaming of hearing. And it's just really, really nice. And so, but there's also like such Morrissey bashers on there, and the Morrissey bashers tend to be Johnny fans, but like, what's that about? You know what I mean? And then there's some who say, hey, I like them both, can't they just get along? And then there's also people who are like, yes, I respect them both. I love what Johnny did in the Smiths, but he has done nothing since, not in the or electronic. He completely needed Morrissey in order to have magical guitar work because he hasn't done it since, including on all of his solo albums, and the complaint is the same, that Johnny Marr hides behind this cool guy image, never exposes any true emotion, any true humanity. It's just pose, There's a guy on there goes, I assume it's a guy, I could be wrong, his little name, username is Vegan Crow Spirit, and he just takes the piss out of Johnny's full thing all the time, and his arrogance and endless podcast interviews where he's just touting his own achievements, and it's just so tacky. I mean, I think in a recent interview he said, oh yes, when they were looking for a James Bond theme with like really cool guitar, of course they went to me. And it's like, is that something you should say? Like, that is tacky always to like toot your own horn like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But you get the feeling that whenever anyone talks like that, and I learn this more and more as I get older, that they really are trying to overcompensate for a completely profound insecurity complex. So that's the thing. He is like a narcissist writ large. He seems entitled, condescending, withholding, covertly insulting, passive-aggressively insulting in interview to Morrissey for frickin' decades, actually. And I never really knew this. I never really knew this until Morrissey wrote his open letter. And now he came out in some, UK, The Times or something, and said, I needed to defend myself. I need to defend myself after Morrissey attacked me. And it's like, attacked? What? Because he did an open letter that said, I'd like to request that you please stop using my name in interviews. Just leave me out of it. I've done, whatever. It was just a profound letter. Everybody knows about it. And now he's calling himself attacked, even though Johnny Marr, is the one that was given him digs for like years, probably 35 years. Dig, omission, withholding. Isaac Brock is the best lyricist I've ever worked with. Bullshit. And Morrissey didn't bite all those years, I think maybe he said, I think maybe in an interview at GQ 2012, he said, look, I think Johnny knows he made a mistake walking away, and he will never admit it, and therefore I've got to be the monster. He's got to turn me into a monster. And that's what narcissists do. They can never face their own shit, their own failures, their own, just imperfections, which we're all imperfect, but he can't face them, so he he's got to make other people monsters in order to feel better about himself, and that's just narcissist 101 shit. But man, it's just getting worse. And these people are flying monkeys on the Morrissey solo website. They all congregate on there just to rip Morrissey, just to rip him and say that he's pathetic and he's not very good and he's a baby and shit like this, and Johnny Marr's great and he's the greatest guitar player. It's like, shut up, you guys. He really has had nothing since the Smiths of note. Even if he's eked a living out, he's eked a living out because on his resume is, I was the Smiths guitar player. Yeah, well, so he's locked in. But he'll never, of course, appreciate where his bread was buttered with the dynamic brilliance of Stephen Patrick Morrissey being the reason why he's even on the fucking map right now to this day, and hasn't been on the map since. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to add. There'll be more, I'm sure.